Alright, now we'll talk about how to find out the radius of the Earth on zero shadow day. Okay? Okay, now we'll discuss about zero shadow day in detail. But before that, let us understand how the rays of sun comes towards Earth. The rays of the sun always comes towards Earth parallel to each other. Now let us see how. Now suppose this is sun. The sun, entire sun is over here. Now in comparison to the sun, the size of the Earth is very small, and also the Earth is at a very large distance from sun. These are two important things that you should note. So if I draw the sun to be this much, so the circle is over there extending, and the Earth will be basically this much or even lesser in size. Okay? Okay. Now the sun rays will be emerging from the sun like this. Okay? We can say that the sun rays are emerging from the surface of the sun. Let us say for simplicity, how perpendicular to the surface. Okay? Okay. Now they will travel in straight line in the forward direction. Now as they reach Earth, now let us say, let us talk about the top and bottom point of the Earth. Okay? We'll talk about only two rays. One is going tangent to the upper point, the other going tangent to the lower point. So if I extend those rays backwards to sun, as you can see, there is a very small angle. The angle made by these two rays with each other is very small. Why it is very small? Because the distance of Earth from the sun is very large, and also the size of the sun, the size of the Earth is very small. Okay? So basically these two rays, the topmost ray and the bottommost ray, even those two rays, angle between those two rays is extremely small. So you can confidently say that all the rays, now if I draw a bigger diagram of Earth, all the rays that approach Earth from sun are parallel to each other. Fine? Okay, now let us understand how will you calculate the radius of the Earth. Fine? Okay. Alright, now on 13th May 2020 in Pune at 12:31 p.m. there was zero shadow day. That means the rays of sun were perpendicular to the ground of Pune. Okay? Okay, so I have shown these rays, these sun rays. Now as we have discussed, these sun rays are parallel to each other as they approach Earth. Okay? Now this, look here, look at the diagram carefully. We'll discuss the diagram slowly. Okay, so P is the point that is marked on Earth. So P represents Pune. Fine? Now this is Earth. This is its axis. Now the axis of the Earth is little tilted. So this will be the North Pole, this will be the South Pole, this is the equator. So we know that India is somewhat above the equator. So Pune, let us say it is over here. Fine? Okay. Now the sun rays are coming from this direction. The sun is somewhere over here. The sun rays are coming like this. The sun rays are perpendicular to Pune. Fine? That means if I dig a rod, a straight rod like this vertically to the ground, that means the sun rays are parallel to this rod. So this rod will not cast any shadow on the surrounding ground. Fine? So this black line that I have drawn, that is nothing but that rod. And as you can see, this rod length is exactly parallel to this sun rays, and hence there won't be any shadow surrounding the rod on the ground. Fine? And hence it is called as zero shadow day. So basically if I am standing over there, I will be standing like this. Right? The feet on the ground. So if I look up, there is exactly above my head, sun will be there. Fine? So I hope you get the picture. Anyway, so this is the rod, vertical rod placed vertically on the ground in Pune at 12:31 p.m. 13th May 2020. It is not casting any shadow on the ground because the sun rays are parallel to the ground. ठीक है. Now, how can you measure the radius of Earth at that particular time? Now, suppose you have a friend at some distance from Pune. Greater the distance from Pune, better the readings. ठीक है. So that friend is living somewhere over here, somewhere far away, at a far away city from Pune. ठीक है. So that friend is living over here. So you ask him to do the same thing what you are doing over here. That means you ask him to put a rod exactly vertical over the ground. So this is his rod. Now, as the sun rays were parallel to only your ground, the sun rays are not parallel to his ground, as you can see. So the sun rays are coming in this direction. So they will strike the rod like this, and a shadow will be there on his ground, right? Because of this rod, the sun rays are like this. So the sun rays will hit the rod. They cannot pass through the rod. So a shadow of the rod will be formed over here. Let us say this is the point Q dash. So Q dash will be the length of the shadow at his place, exactly at that time. Fine? Okay. Now look here. Now we have to measure this angle A, small a. This is the diagram. So this is Q, that point Q. This is the rod. Now let us say this is the point M, the tip of the rod. This is MQ. This is the ground. This is Q dash. This is A. So I have drawn the same diagram. Okay. Now you will say that this is a curve and this is a straight line. Actually, the length of the shadow is extremely small, right? So it is almost a straight line. This is an exaggerated figure, not to scale. The length of the shadow will be very small. So it is almost a straight line. Fine. Yeah. So Q dash is the length of the shadow. QM is the length of his rod. Okay. Now he can easily measure his length of rod, and he can also measure the length of the shadow by using any meter scale. Okay. So he knows QM. He knows Q dash. Now we know that tan of theta, so tan of A is opposite upon adjacent, so Q dash upon MQ. He knows both these values, so he can find out the angle A. Angle A will be tan inverse of Q dash upon MQ. So we now know A, angle A. Now look here. If I extend this length backwards, since it is exactly placed on ground, since the rod is exactly placed on the ground vertically, so if I go on extending the line below the surface, it should pass through the center of Earth, right? So I am extending this line backwards. It will pass through the center of Earth. It will reach the center of Earth. The same way over here also, if I extend this line backwards, it will reach the center of Earth. Now as you can see, this line and this line are parallel to each other. So this angle and this angle are alternate angles. So if this is A, this is also A. We have already found A. So basically we know this angle A. Okay? Now you know exactly the position of point Q. You know where your friend is living. And from the internet you can find out the direct distance from P to Q. Now this distance is not the distance that we travel along the road, right? This is the direct distance from P to Q. So you also know PQ distance. You know the angle A. Now look here, and the length of arc PQ corresponds to the angle A. PQ corresponds to A. This is the arc, right? So length of arc PQ corresponds to the angle A. So what is the arc 2 pi r, the complete circumference? It corresponds to what angle? It will correspond to angle 360 degree, right? Because we are covering the entire circle, so the corresponding angle traced at the center will be 360 degree. So once again, PQ corresponds to angle A. The entire circumference will correspond to angle 360 degree. Now all we have to do is cross multiplication. So 2 pi r into A is equal to PQ into 360. So R will be nothing but PQ into 360 upon 2 pi into A. Right? So we have already found A. We know the distance PQ. From that we can find out the radius of the earth, R. Getting this? This is the radius of the earth, R. This was the first method that was used to find out the radius of the earth. It was in 240 BC something. Fine? Chalo, I hope you have understood this and found this interesting. Chalo, thank you.